Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Transplant Coffee Talk. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Thanks for joining us. So this morning, we're doing something different on this broadcast. I'm also filming from my YouTube channel, Urban Health Outreach Media. Excuse me. So we got two live broadcasts going simultaneously. Lisa Baxter, thank you for tuning in. Good morning to you. I hope everything was a success at the health fair that you participated in yesterday up in New York, and I hope you represented Urban Health Outreach Media well. Also, I saw that little table they have for you. Man, tell them next time, get you a 6-foot table and throw your information with those books up on there, okay? So today we have a great show. I mean, I saw this Kidney Warrior post on Facebook, never seen it before, and I'm sure that's going to be a lot with a lot of people that come on our broadcast because of the nature of this disease, kidney disease. More than 700,000 individuals undergoing some form of kidney dialysis therapy. More than 100,000 are diagnosed each year for kidney disease, and more than 125,000 are on the list. This warrior I have today, she was on dialysis for 4.5 years. She had a transplant. She's been off 3 years and decided to become a kidney dialysis technician. The same occupation that helped her, she wanted to become a part of. I want to let her tell you her story. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on Kidney Warrior all the way from St. Louis, Missouri, Kendra Tenner. Hey, Kendra, how's it going?
Hi.
How's everything?
Good.
Yeah, you got a nice smile there. Brightens up the room.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, so what's going on up in St. Louis, as they call it?
Right. Nothing. Work. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So you're a dialysis technician now?
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yeah.
How long you been doing that?
I started in February, actually. So not long, but long enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So pretty much 6 months.
Yep. Yes, sir.
How long was that training for you?
It was like, I want to say almost 2 months of training.
Really?
Yeah. It was a lot.
So 8 weeks, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Did you learn a lot in that short period of time?
I did. It was a lot I did not know from being on dialysis. I learned a lot. I'm still learning. I have not taken my catheter class yet. So I have to learn catheters and all of that.
So where you're at in St. Louis, technicians are able to access catheters?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Okay. You know, different states have different rules.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, like I know Illinois, right across the bridge, they can't give heparin, but we can. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You say right across the bridge, like you could just walk there or drive over.
Yeah.
So do other people, now where was this place? Did you just mention?
Well, Illinois. Yeah.
You said Illinois?
Mm-hmm.
Can you go over there and work if you wanted to? Do they have compact state, like if you wanted to work at a clinic in Illinois?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. I don't think so.
Wow. So let's start with your story. How did your journey begin with kidney disease?
So when I was well, younger, little girl, I used to always have lots of aches and pains in my bones, and my mom kept taking me to doctors. Of course, they told her growing pains, she'll be okay. Sent me home. When I was about 12 years old, I got diagnosed with lupus, and the lupus pretty much. Well, I'm gonna say I was hard headed. I didn't want to take medicine. I was like, no, I don't have lupus. I'm young. I don't know any better. So when I was 17 or 18, I just woke up one morning and my face was really swollen and puffy. I went to the doctor and they told me my kidneys had failed and I had to start dialysis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, so during that time when you first was diagnosed with lupus, they didn't check your kidney function?
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, looking back, knowing what you know now, do you think that should have been caught?
Probably, but I guess they didn't think about it because, like, most times, well, most people that I've heard of, it usually runs in the family, kidney disease or something, and nobody in my family ever had kidney disease. Nobody, ever had any kidney issues, period. And I happened to be the first one, and I remember them always saying she had protein. I had protein in my urine, but I didn't know what that meant at the time. Of course, now I do, but.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So when did you actually, at what age did you start at dialysis?
I was, I want to say 17. I was
Really?
17, yeah. I started dialysis then. It was just, like I said, it was all of a sudden. I didn't have any, well, looking back, I had prior symptoms. I didn't know what they were. And then I woke up that morning and my face was swollen. And I felt like I couldn't breathe. And my mom took me to the doctor and they told me, she needs to get to a hospital ASAP. Her kidneys have failed. So,
Wow. Now at 17, I'm sure you didn't have no understanding of what was going on. How did you deal with that at that young age?
oh my gosh, it was so hard. I it was very, very hard. I was very depressed. I didn't even know what dialysis was at the time. They told me I had to start dialysis. I'm like, okay, thinking it's nothing. I went to a treatment. I'm like, okay, it's over with. Can I go home now? They're like, no, you have to continue getting treatments. And I'm like, until when? And they said until you get a transplant or your kidney function returns, which
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. But um, when I realized what dialysis was and everything, I was in a deep depression pretty much. I didn't want to do anything, didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to talk to anyone. Um, I was actually in college at the time. I was having a hard time getting through school. So
Wow.
yeah.
Now, did you have a good support system back then?
Yes, yes. And I still do. My mom, she's the bomb. My mom
Mm-hmm.
is my best friend. My dad also, my brother, my husband now, he's very helpful.
Now, you met your husband. You had kidney disease when you met your husband?
I did. Well, he was just a friend then, but yes, I did.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Now, was that hard? I mean, far as when you first developed a relationship with your husband, was it hard for him to accept your disease?
No. I think it was just he looked past that, I think. So he just saw me. He didn't see me as sick Kendra. He saw me as just Kendra.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's awesome because
Yeah.
a lot of relationships don't form uh, because someone may have a chronic disease or
Yeah.
they may break up because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope, he's
Wow.
been here. Since I've had my kidney, I've been sick a few times and he's been right there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm.
Now, when you first started dialysis, you went in center. Did you go to a pediatric unit or they put you in an adult unit?
Um, Adult unit. I didn't even know there was pediatric units until I started working there. But yeah, I was in an adult unit.
Uh-huh. And you were 17,
Going on 18, yeah.
going on 18.
Hmm.
Now, did you see any other young people your age on dialysis at that moment? How did you adjust when
Um,
you went to treatment? Did you stay to yourself?
yes, always. I didn't even talk to anyone there. When I started in one town, until I went back to college, I started in one town during dialysis, and it was nobody in there, probably under 50. Um, and eventually, when I moved to my college town, it was like two younger people in there with me. So we kind of talked about it. I talked to them.
Hmm.
They helped me understand because they had been on it way longer than I had been.
Wow. Are
Hmm.
you, since being diagnosed and now you working in the field, are you seeing a lot more young people being diagnosed and coming on dialysis than you seen
Yeah.
when you first started?
Yes, I am. And I think it's so sad, but yeah, I have seen a few young people. And then I don't know. They just don't, it's like they don't understand. They don't understand how dialysis works and they don't come, and I'm just like, you have to get your treatments.
Hmm.
You want to live.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How now, being that you got diagnosed at 17 and and you had these other problems, what would you say looking back 2020 hindsight, what we could do to help younger people understand this disease and get tested for kidney disease?
I would say pay attention to your body. Your body will let you know when anything is wrong. Just like I wasn't paying attention when my hair fell out, when I was short of breath, when I was uh, gaining weight. I wasn't paying attention to any of the signs, but pay attention to your body, know the signs, know the symptoms, know, pretty much kind of learn about what could go wrong in your body, so that it can tell you, you're not
Hmm.
doing well, you're getting sick. Go to the doctor, get checkups often. Um, yeah.
Let me ask you, Kendra, do you think that I don't want to say possible, but what young people are going through in this day and time, do you think they going to think about health in that way? I'm just asking, just from your opinion.
I don't know.
Hmm. Now, when you was on dialysis, what type of access did you have?
I have a fistula. Well, I
Hmm.
had started with a catheter, and now I have a fistula.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, after your transplant, were you able to get that tied off, or is it still working?
It still works. Still kicking.
Hmm. Is that in your upper? Which arm is that?
My left lower arm.
Oh, oh, okay. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't even tell.
No, I had a buttonhole, so it's not that bad.
Wow, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So, tell us about your experience on dialysis. Did you? Is that what you only did was in center hemo? Did you go home?
Yes, I started at home in December 2015. No, January 2016. I started training in December 2015. I started dialysis at home in January 2016. And then in February of 2016, I got the call for my kidney. Well, my mom got the call for a kidney.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What what made you do home dialysis?
I hated getting up early, going to the clinic. I just did not like it. Like every time I went in the clinic, I would pretty much just get into a depressed mode. It was just me. I felt alone by being the only young person there. So I did not like going at all. Any of my technicians will tell you Kendra was not a friendly person when it came to dialysis. I hated getting up. I hated going in the place. So I was like, is there any other option? And it wasn't until I moved here to St. Louis is when I started home dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
They had the option in Mississippi, but it was like an hour drive every day for class, and I was like,
Wow.
yeah.
So let me ask you this. When you first started dialysis and when you went to the center and signed the admission packet and all that,
Mm-hmm.
did they give you a choice, or did your doctor, when you first started dialysis, like you said, you didn't know about other options? They didn't present that to you that you could go home and do dialysis?
Mm-mm. No, not at all. I didn't even know it was an option. Like I said, until I researched it on
Wow.
my. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
had to.
as a being that you experience both sides, what do you think about that? That people such as yourself don't get told or notified that there's other options in the beginning, especially when you're in a hospital, so it can kind of give you an opportunity to
Right.
kind of think about if you want to go home or go in-center or whatever. Most people get hit with in-center. They just kind of, excuse the
Mm-hmm.
expression, lack of a better term, cattled into
Mm-hmm.
in-center with no other choice but thinking it's in-center.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I think that should offer everybody, a chance at doing it at home because I loved home
Do you
dialysis.
think if that was offered to you or mentioned to you when you were diagnosed or when you were in the hospital, when they were putting the catheter in or whatever, do you think that you may have went home then and did that?
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I would have probably did maybe until I learned how to do it on my own in center, and I would have hurried and went home.
Right.
I did not like being in center at all.
Were there any challenges with home dialysis? I know there's many benefits, but did
Mm-hmm.
you run into any challenges like um, power outages or unable to get your supplies delivered?
Mm-mm. No, not at all.
Nothing.
It was probably the best. Like I said, the best thing that ever happened was starting at home. I never had any issues at all. I hooked myself up, got on the machine, took myself off, and went to bed every day. It was
You stuck
on my
yourself.
schedule. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I stuck myself in center also. Like I said, because I had a buttonhole, and the same person pretty much has to stick you every time for it to go in the same spot.
Yeah. So
And
you started to track or someone else did?
someone else did, my nurse, and she showed me how to do it myself. So the days that she wasn't there, I could do it myself, and I stuck myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have fear and need. How did you get over that fear? Or
I have a high pain tolerance. I don't really have too many fears, so it was just easy. As soon as I got it, I was like, "Give me the needles. I'll do it. I don't want anybody else to do it."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome that you stuck yourself. What would you say to the person maybe watching this who may be 20, 21 years old, or even 17 and up, who could be watching this, or a family member of theirs, or someone that young who may be dealing with some kidney issues, and they see this broadcast? What would you suggest to them on how to deal with this disease if they're diagnosed with it?
Talk to someone. Talking helps. If you need advice or anything, you can talk to your nurse, you can talk to the techs, have a support system. Most definitely, it's hard to go through this alone. So I would say everyone needs a strong support system to get through. And yeah, you need to talk, because you holding it in and trying to deal with it on your own is not fun at all.
Right.
It will.
I can imagine. Wow. And I'm sure that's with any, I guess, chronic condition or medical condition that you may or one may, fall victim to. Now, you had an opportunity. Well, I was going to say you had an opportunity to be on both sides as a patient. Now you're working as a technician.
Mm-hmm.
Working as a technician now, looking back at your treatments when you went in center, can you remember, or were there any mistakes that you realize now that could have been done on you that you didn't know about, that looking back, it's like, oh, they didn't do that right or something like that?
No, I can't remember. It's been a while. Well, it feels like it's been a long time, but I can't really remember specific details. I know when they would change the catheter dressing or something, they would do after the treatment, and I know you're supposed to do it before the treatment now. I
That
can't really.
again?
Yeah, I can't
Mention
remember
that again
anything. I
about the
said the
about
catheter
the
dressing.
catheter.
Yeah, they would always change it at the end, and you're supposed to do it at the beginning of the treatment. I remember little things like that, or you're supposed to change gloves when you go from the dirty side of the catheter to the clean side, things like that. I
Right.
remember them not doing.
But Kendra,
But
mention as a technician, mention again about the catheter. They supposed to do it when?
before treatment.
Okay, I just know, and the reason why I asked you that again, because I just want warriors who's watching this that have catheters
Yeah.
to hear from someone who has had dialysis and now works as a dialysis caregiver, and she's telling you what the policy is that what you change it when?
Before